Hello, hello, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel. This is the weekly angel card reading for the week beginning September the 23rd to the 29th, 2019. So let's get started and see what is happening for us this week. I'm shuffling the very first angel card deck I ever got actually, and so therefore a sentimental favourite. What's great about this particular card deck, which is called the Saints and Angels, is the messages are always very simple but very powerful. This is a great example. Monday's card is Wise Decision. So if you happen to be facing a decision at the moment, this is going to be pretty welcome for you. It's letting you know that you have the ability to make a good decision for yourself. Please don't procrastinate or hold back because you're worried about making a mistake. There are no mistakes. Everything you do will teach you something and lead you to some great discovery. So even if you figure out that you have later made a decision that wasn't best, you can learn from that and then you can course correct. So please don't let yourself go into analysis paralysis where you don't make any decision at all, which is a bad decision in itself because you're choosing nothing. You know what is right for you. Please trust that. Please don't be swayed by other people, because although your friends and family mean well, usually, they are governed by what they think is best, which is filtered through their life experiences, their expectations, their hopes and dreams. That's not going to speak to you. Also, it's influenced by their fears. So sometimes people, well-meaning, will put a harness on you, or don't go for that, it won't go well, because they're afraid, and that's not going to be good for you. You need to make the decision that is right for you, and you already know what it is. If you're watching this video, you've got a good connection with your intuition because you've been connected and aligned with me and my vibration. So therefore you've got a good connection too, and you've got the ability to make a good decision for yourself. So go ahead with the thing that you already know is right. Remember, you can ask your angels for help at any point to help you really hone in on what's right for you, or to confirm that you're already on the right track. You can do that out loud in your head, it doesn't matter. And there's a lot of information on my website about angel signs. If you need info on that, just ask for a sign. I think this is right for me. Can you confirm I'm on the right track, or this is right for me, with a sign that I can easily understand? And just go to my website, www.onegroundedangel.com, and hit signs in the search field, and it should bring up a couple of articles about angel cards. Now, if you're not facing a decision, this card may be more general for you in terms of trusting your own intuition to do what is right for you. And to really, the word wise is being highlighted here. Trust in your own wisdom. You know, you're the only authority on yourself, well, besides the divine, obviously, but you really do know what's right for you. So please try and isolate what is right for you from what is right according to society, or according to our expectations of what women should or shouldn't do, or your friends' ideas about what's right, or your families, or anything at all you're getting caught up with. You must honour what is right for you, and if you don't, you will live with regret, and that is a really, really horrible thing to live with. So please don't put that on yourself. Okay, so I'm shuffling for Tuesday now. It's a really lovely way to start the week, actually. Just really getting some reinforcement as to our own abilities to make good decisions for ourselves. Tuesday, you are lovable. This is the self-worth card, and it's about you really understanding that what other people think about you, or the way they judge you, does not diminish your worth. Your worth is inherent. It is not shaped, it is not tarnished by other people or other experiences. Just because someone you like doesn't want to be in a relationship with you or be a friend of yours does not mean that you are not worthy. It means that you're just not in alignment. And I know I'm oversimplifying here, but I just want you to I don't want to go down the track of explaining the many reasons that people don't connect, even though they might feel a bit of an energy between them, or they might want that relationship. I'm just trying to explain here that really don't let yourself feel that there's something wrong with you just because things may not be happening for you as fast as you would like, in any sense of the word, in any area, not just talking about relationships here. So if you have been declined for a job that you applied for, it wasn't the right job for you. And I know you know that logically, But sometimes we internalize the idea of, I'm not good enough, there's something wrong with me, everyone is better than me, everyone's doing better than me, all this other nonsense that goes on in this head, this mental chatter. Please understand, you are lovable, you are deserving of good things, you're a child of the universe, your value is inherent. It is not, don't rank yourself down just because of things may not be going as you would like them to be. So you don't need to change anything about you to become more deserving of love. There are obviously lots of things we all need to learn to become better at love, but your worthiness, your deserving of love, your deservingness of love, I don't know if deservingness is a word, go with it. There's nothing that you need to change there. That is fundamental to you. We all deserve love. Sometimes we don't act in ways that necessarily bring us the best relationships. I've seen some birds outside, which is always nice to see. Birds are quite lovely messengers, aren't they? Ooh, career transition. I know this is going to speak to a lot of you who are contemplating changes, perhaps harking back to Monday's card, within your professional life. And this is urging you to go ahead with that. I know you're scared, you're human, it's very normal, but please don't let that hold you back, because again, you'll live with regret if you don't. Now, if you are transitioning into retirement, or part-time work, or parenthood, all those transitions, same rules apply. They're right for you. Go with it. You know it's right for you. Do the things you need to do to support yourself. Go gently if you need to. Sometimes sudden, abrupt changes can be really destabilizing for us. They take away our structure, the sense of purpose that we had aligned with our jobs, or that particular job is gone. That can be quite an abrupt sort of change that we don't always gel with too easily. So please do the things that will support you through that. Talking to trusted friends, doing yoga, lots of self-care, and just maybe some deep breathing exercise to reassure yourself that you're okay, and looking for other ways to bring through that sense of purpose that maybe aren't immediately obvious to you. Now, I've drawn a second card here. These cards don't really match up at all as far as I can see, but perhaps you will see a way that they speak to you. This card, Beloved One, is about the search for love. Now, I know I've said this before, I'll say it again. Love is not something you find. It isn't. And I know that there's an entire industry built around this idea that you just need to find your soulmate. Love, it almost finds you in a way. It's something that you just come into alignment with when the time is right. So if you are single and you want a partner, there's nothing wrong with you because it hasn't happened yet. And it's not like you haven't been looking hard enough. I'm sure you've probably tried everything you can think of. And so this idea that you just need to try a bit harder is really kind of damaging. So Archangel Chamuel is pictured here. He is like the equivalent of the Catholic saint Anthony, who helps you find things that are missing in your life. Now, that doesn't mean you are incomplete on your own. It just means this is something you want, and there's totally nothing wrong with being totally fine being single as well. You don't need a relationship. But if it is something you want, talk to Chamuel or St. Anthony. They're not just about finding your car keys, although they certainly help with that too. I can attest to that. They're about helping you find things that are right for you. So you might like to talk to Chamuel and ask him. I say him, typically depicted as a him. Angels don't actually have a gender. I just go with that because that's how this angel is depicted commonly. Please go with what is right for you in terms of languaging I use and your own belief system. But anyway, talk to Chamuel and ask for help in manifesting that relationship. And that means you're going to have to do things to help yourself as well. Now, not finding, it's not about putting yourself out there or any of those other cliches we tend to resort to. It's more about getting rid of the blocks that are in your way. If you're still hung up on the way a past relationship ended, or you're still or you've got some self-worth issues, you don't feel like you're good enough, and you're hoping that to meet someone to help affirm that worth, which is the backwards way of looking at it. Really, you need to cultivate your own confidence in your self-worth, and then you attract the partner. Or maybe it's some sort of healing in the family that because our you know, our beliefs about relationships are largely shaped by our parents, the relationship they had with each other, the relationships each of them had with us, or one of them had with us. So yeah, looking at any wounding that might be getting in the way as well. Now this is something I sort of specialize in. I'm an energy healer, but the majority of the people, the clients who come to me, are needing help with relationships, whether single or in a relationship. And that is because relationships has been a major focus of my life, a struggle to find or to attract that relationship. So I think that's the reason I attract so many clients in that space, is because it reflects my energy. I don't tend to attract people who have experiences that I can't necessarily relate to, or if I can't relate to them, I can relate to the essence of where they're getting stuck, certainly. So now, you don't have to work with me, but if you are interested in working through your blocks to relationships, I can certainly help you with that. I work via Skype or Zoom with anyone around the world, but you know, you could look for lots of other ways. Maybe you want to work with a relationship coach, maybe you want to go to a therapist, whatever it is that feels right for you, and do ask for a sign if you need help validating that choice. So I don't see these cards as being too related. They're very separate areas, relationships, career, but perhaps they are connected in that getting peace in one area helps you find peace in the other, or helps you get a bit more stability so you can better approach the other. But I don't know, perhaps you're transitioning into a partnership with maybe you and your partner are going to start a business together. I don't know, could be. Let's go with, and you're trying to manifest the right opportunity. So anyway, let's look at Thursday's card. It always annoys me when they give me two cards, but particularly when they give me two cards that are completely different, that are quite, not intense, but certainly bigger messages like that I can't just, you know, do a once over lightly on. Thursday, expect a miracle. We've had some really strong messages around miracles the week before last. And so I did explain a lot around that time that the word miracle is overused, and we tend to use it for just something good happens. It's a miracle, but actually a miracle is about something unexpected or unlikely happening. So this asks you to see beyond what seems likely or possible or realistic for you, and to believe in things. There are bigger things at play that you can't see yet. Forces are working behind the scenes to help you bring through this result that you want, or this thing that you're worried about. And so it's asking you to widen your perspective. We can only ever see this much of the picture, and the angels are looking at this much going, it's going to be okay. So that's a really positive message. I should say with Mother Mary as well, who is an Ascended Master. She is associated with parenting, motherhood. So if you, obviously it's in the name, so if your stuck point, or the thing you're struggling with, is around conception or being a better parent, Mary is a good person to talk to there and ask for help with that. Let's go to Friday. Yeah, Friday now. So Ascended Masters. I love it when they do this. I just spoke about Ascended Masters. It feels like a lovely validation for me personally. Not that my ego needs it, but it helps indicate that I was sort of on the right track there. The Ascended Masters are a group, a realm of divine entities who have walked on the earth. Your guardian angels have never been in human form. They don't get the human experience. As much as they are very wise and emanating love, they don't necessarily know or understand how our human experience can be, how we can get stuck in the human experience sometimes. And a great example of that would be, they know everything's going to be okay. They understand we're worried, but they don't necessarily understand that we're worried because of some of the forces that are going on around us. So sometimes it is better to talk to an Ascended Master who has been on the earth, gets how hard it is to be human. So you've got a whole realm within here. We've got Kuan Yin, who is typically associated with compassion from Eastern disciplines. We've got Gandhi. We've got, oh goodness, I'm forgetting all the names here. Obviously Buddha, Jesus, Mother Mary, as I mentioned, Muhammad. Yeah, there are so many here. Ganesh. If you are interested, I recommend you Google to find out more, because otherwise I'm going to be here going, what about, and forgetting. It's really important that you trust your intuition on this. If one of those leaders feels like you have a connection with, that means, this card means that they are here to work with you, so talk to them. If not, you might just be curious to find out a bit more about them. Maybe their story will help you, give you a teaching that you can utilize in your life. If none of that resonates with you, and I have had this happen before where people just don't get what that means, look at the word ascended. It is about the rising. It is about us ascending, rising up above what we are struggling with. So it is a hopeful message letting us know we have so much love and support from the divine to help us rise above, to move forward. I know you feel stuck. Everyone who comes to see me feels stuck. That's why I'm in this work, to help people who are stuck. And there are a lot of people who fit into that category, and the ones who don't quite recognize it, who might be blaming other people or circumstances for their situation. The whole point is that we need help sometimes from the divine to help us get past our stuff, or the blocks or the wounds that we've got that are keeping us in this zone. So Saturday, and you wouldn't be following me if you weren't interested in working through your stuff, to rise above your blocks and to really move forward in your life. Ooh, Saturday, random style of shuffling there, but it worked. Blessing in disguise. You will have heard the saying, it was a blessing in disguise. So if there is something you are lamenting or feeling disappointed about, perhaps the example I gave earlier about missing out on a job you wanted will speak to you in this example. This tells you it is a blessing in disguise. So I don't want to oversimplify here by saying everything happens for a reason, because I do think there are some really crappy things that happens to people where being told everything happens for a reason is actually really unhelpful. And I'm thinking of chronic illness and bereavement here, that nobody wants to hear everything happens for a reason in that situation. So I steer away from that kind of advice. But what I would say is that there's always something good we can find, and often it takes a really long time to appear to us. So just be patient with that process. If something crappy, away from the extreme end that I just gave you an example of, if something crappy has happened to you in terms of missing out on the job, that's obviously a good example. And another good example would be, perhaps you've been made redundant, or you've missed out on a house that you wanted to buy or to rent. It maybe wasn't right for you, and I know that's hard for you to accept, but it does usually mean there's something better coming along, which is hard to maintain that optimism sometimes in the face of disappointment and a little bit of despair or defeat. So just try and hold a little space for hope, even if you can't, be completely optimistic at this point. That's okay. Just being a little bit hopeful is enough. I think I'm getting a message here that what I said earlier about regret kind of comes to the fore here. If you are struggling with regret, this is one of the major ways we keep ourselves stuck, is by thinking things should have, could have, would have been different. If only I had chosen this guy instead of this guy, or if only I had moved to this place instead of this place. Any kind of situation like this, or I should have said this thing to my mum, or I should have done something, or I shouldn't have gone for that job. Whatever it is, really work at letting that go, because there is a reason things have happened in this way. Maybe it wasn't right for you, or maybe you needed to learn something by going the hard way about things. We don't learn things when life is easy, unfortunately, and we're here to learn and grow. And I know I've said this before, but one of my great beefs with the way the world works is that we have to go through crappy things to learn. And that's the first thing I'm going to be taking up with the Creator when I get there. Could you not just make life a little bit easy? Really, it's been really tough out here, but it's not called the Earth School for nothing. So Sunday, you created this situation, you have the power to change it. Longest card title ever. It literally is the longest card title. I can't even talk. I said job title. The longest card title I have. And there's been a bit of a theme around work in this reading. And so I'm wondering, if your job is not going well, how have you contributed to that? Did you go for something that was less than what you knew you wanted because you were scared to reach for that bigger thing? Have you not set boundaries against someone's crappy behaviour? That's often the case when we're blaming other people for the way they treat us. Say, they should know to treat me nicely. Well, you've allowed them to treat you badly. There's no reason for them to change unless you set that boundary. Other ways we can contribute to our situations is by refusing to go with what our intuition is telling us. If our intuition is telling us that this person's not right for us, but we continue to pursue a relationship with them, and then we get angry at them for not reciprocating, I mean, it doesn't mean they're not a dick. They probably are a dick, but how did you cause this? I mean, it's always a two-way street if we're talking relationship stuff. And probably other areas as well. Really look at your part. It is not about absolving the other person or the other parties of responsibility. It's just about looking at your side of the street, because that is the part that you can change. We can't always change what's happened, but we can change the way we respond to it, and we can certainly change the way we contribute to it or exacerbate it. So really look at that. Again, the unicorn is on this card. That's about miracles. So that's another theme here, about believing in miracles. So really try and hold some space for hope that things can change here, and it starts with you changing your response and your energy and the mindset you're bringing to these situations. So that's one theme about miracles, which is sort of a hangover from 2 weeks ago, but things repeat because we don't get them, so we need to be reminded. The other theme here is about letting go of regret and taking charge of our circumstances by, addressing any self-worth issues here that are keeping us stuck, and making smarter decisions, or trusting that we can make smart decisions for a start, and also changing our mindset and the ways that we are inadvertently contributing to adverse situations in our lives. That's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. My website is www.onegroundedangel.com. You can find out more information about the work I do, the angel card readings and the energy healing. It's all on there, and you can also book via that website. So these go on my social media. If you're not already following me on Instagram, it's at @OneGroundedAngel. That's my handle. My Facebook group is called Facebook page, it's not a group. The page is called One Grounded Angel, and you can access that even if you're not on Facebook, by the way. And equally, I'm pretty sure you can find me on Instagram if you're not on Instagram, just by going instagram.com/OneGroundedAngel. Pretty sure that works. So that's it for the week. I hope you found these cards meaningful and helpful and beneficial to you. I always love reading your comments when I post these on social media about the ways that they speak to you and how they might have been beneficial. So thank you to everybody who contributes, and thank you to all of you for your support of my work. I can't do this without getting, it's about giving and receiving. So the more you give me, the more I'm able to give out again. Love needs to flow in both directions, as I say very often, but I'm here to expand, and so are all of you. So let's just keep giving each other the love and support that we need. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.